The state would next call Lieutenant Jerry Holeman, please.
Witness sworn.
Will you state your name, please?
Jerry Holeman, Holeman.
And how are you employed?
With the Indiana State Police.
And how long have you been employed in that capacity?
It'll be 22 years in June.
And did you go through special training or education to become a law enforcement officer?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell me about that, please?
I went through the Indiana State Police Academy. I graduated. I started January 2001, and I graduated in June of 2001.
And are you familiar with the case of State of Indiana versus Richard Allen?
Yes, I am.
Are you an investigator who participated in the investigation of that case?
Yes, I am.
And I want to take you back to the beginning of October of 2023. Do you recall that time?
Yes, I do.
And what happened in the beginning of October of 2023?
I received a phone call from you, stating that you had received information from Becky Patty, who is the grandmother and legal guardian of Liberty German, that crime scene photos were being leaked.
And once you were told of that information, what did you do next?
I started inquiring on what type of photos were leaked and tried to find out where they were being leaked from. And what did you do first to go about finding out that information?
Well, I received a phone call from Ain Kane and Kevin Greenlee, who said they had also received the photos, and they described those photos to me over the phone. When those photos were described to you, were you familiar with the photos they were talking about?
Yes, I was.
How were you familiar with those photos?
One of the descriptions of the photos was one that Mr. Baldwin and Mr. Rozzi showed me in my deposition.
And why was it unique enough that you could tell the photo from a description?
It was a side-by-side that I'd never seen before that day, and it was created, obviously, by the defense attorneys, and I recall seeing it that day, and that's the only time I ever saw that photo.
And so from the description from those individuals you talked to, you recognized the photo was something the defense had created?
Yes.
What did you do next?
I believe I called you back to let you know that there was more than just what Becky Patty had told you.
And from there, where did the investigation lead you?
I talked to, again, Ain Kane and Kevin Greenlee, who said that they knew who sent them the photos.
And who sent them the photos?
Mr. Cohen.
And did you speak to Mr. Cohen?
Later, I did.
Objection, hearsay. Violation of the right to confrontation.
Overruled.
Did you speak to Mr. Cohen?
I did later, but before that, I got more information from Ain and Kevin. They stated that Mr.
Hold on, let me...
Objection. What did he say?
Did you stop him there?
Yes. And when you spoke to Ain and Kevin, did you get documents from them?
Yes.
What documents did you get from them?
They gave me several documents that were screenshots that they received from Mr. Cohen with communication with Mr. Fortson.
Okay. Did you receive any pictures from them?
Yes.
And what pictures did you receive from them?
The pictures that they stated that Mr. Cohen sent them.
And when you got the pictures from them, did you recognize the photos?
Yes, I did.
And I don't want you to go into detail, but what were the photos of?
Some of them were of the crime scene that, again, I knew had to come from the defense attorney, because one of them was of Liberty and her private parts were blacked out and they used a circle, and in all the ones that we ever used for any type of reason, we used rectangles.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 5, State's Exhibit 5.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you take a look at those documents, please? And can you tell the court what those documents are?
The first one is a picture.
Not just as a group. I'm sorry.
Oh.
It was a bad question. Can you tell the court as a group what those documents are?
Photos that I received from Kevin and Ain.
And what do the photos show?
Crime scene photos. Some of them are pictures of drawings of the crime scene.
And do you recognize those photos?
Yes, I do.
And how do you recognize those photos?
Again, they're crime scene photos and also photos that were presented to me in my deposition.
Judge, I'm going to ask the court to admit what's been marked as State's Exhibit 5. I'm going to ask the court to admit those under seal. They're graphic crime scene photos. I did not transmit those to defense. I told Mr. Hennessy I was not going to transmit those to him. State's Exhibit 5 offered.
Let's see them.
I'm more than happy to have them look at those, but I would like those filed under seal, Judge.
Any objection?
Judge, yeah, I need to see them. Mr. McClellan, let me look at them. I've never received copies because I don't want to be sitting accused of contempt. I have no reason to object to them being placed under seal.
All right. I will show 5 is admitted without objection and I will seal.
No. I need to see the exhibit. You asked if I object to them being sealed. I gotta make sure this is what I was shown before, because they weren't given.
Show him the photos, please.
No objection, Judge.
All right. I'll show 5 is admitted without objection and, without objection, 5 will be sealed. State's Exhibit 5 admitted.
Now, Mr. Holeman, if you recall, were those all the photos that you received from Ms. Kane or, the individuals Kevin and Ain?
No.
Okay. Those are just the ones we admitted are just a portion of those?
Yes.
Okay. And again, the ones specifically of the crime scene depicting liberty, was that something the law enforcement created?
No.
And how did you know that?
Like I said earlier, we use rectangles to block out the private parts, and that one had one rectangle and a circle, so I knew it was not produced by any of us.
When you saw that photo, did you recognize it though?
Yes.
Where did you recognize it from?
It was a crime scene photo that was used and was taken from the scene.
Was it also presented to you in a deposition?
I believe so, yes.
Same questions with the side-by-side photo that showed Abby. Is that something that law enforcement created?
No.
Did you recognize the photo?
Yes.
And how did you recognize it?
It was shown to me in the deposition by Mr. Baldwin and Mr. Rozzi.
Once you got those photos, what did you do? Once you got the photos and the information from Kevin and Ain, what did you do from there?
I notified you again of the photos and what my thoughts were, and then I scheduled a time to meet with Ain and Kevin to take a statement and receive all of the information that they got from Mr. Cohen.
And as part of the information, the documents that you got from them during that interview, did those include screenshots of messages?
Yes.
And who were the messages between?
Mr. Cohen and Mr. Fortson.
How did you know they were between Mr. Cohen and Mr. Fortson?
Well, I saw the pictures of the Facebook pictures of Mr. Fortson, and Mr. Cohen told me they were.
So you were able to identify from the messages Mr. Fortson?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 6, I believe. Are you familiar with that bundle of documents?
Yes, I am.
And how are you familiar with that bundle of documents?
Those are the documents that I received from Mr. Greenlee and Mrs. Kane.
And can you describe what those documents are, not the content of them, but what they are?
They are screenshots of communications between Mr. Fortson and Mr. Cohen on Facebook.
And how do you know that?
'Cause I'm familiar with Facebook and it says Robert Fortson and then it's also identifying Mr. Cohen.
And do those accurately represent the documents that you received from Ain and Kevin?
Yes.
Judge, the state would move to admit what's been marked as State's Exhibit 5.
6.
6.
6.
I'm sorry. State's Exhibit 6 offered.
Preliminary questions, please.
Yes.
Do you know how many pages is in 6?
I do not.
Do you remember how many pages you received from the murder sheet people?
I don't know the exact number, no.
And then, so State's Exhibit 6 Reve ALS conversations between two people?
Yes.
Is Mr. Fortson deceased?
Pardon me?
Is Mr. Fortson deceased?
Yes, he is.
Judge, I would object on hearsay. It's impossible for the defense to be able to cross-examination and confront the speakers. This is clearly communications between two people, neither of whom are available for cross-examination.
Any response?
Judge, the state does not believe it's hearsay. It's not going to the truth of the matter of the content in the statements. It's going to show that there was a conversation and that there was a continued leak. If the court does deem it's hearsay, I believe there's an exception. If the court reads through the documents and reads through the statements in the document, there are several messages where Fortson says, or asks Cohen to protect him from distributing the information and to delete messages once he knows the investigation starts. And so it's clearly sta temens against his interest in terms of trying to delete those messages and hide the evidence, and so the state would ask to overrule the objection.
All right. House Show 6 is admitted over objection. State's Exhibit 6 admitted.
I'm sorry, I would also belatedly like to add relevance, because none of those conversations are connected to either Mr. Baldwin or Mr. Rozzi, and there's no evidence or testimony that they were aware of the conversations, that they authored or authorized the conversations, so there's no connection to the two people that are charged with indirect contempt. Relevance.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. What did you do next in the investigation?
After receiving this information, like I said, I did an audio/videotaped statement of Mr. Kane, or Mrs. Kane and Mr. Greenlee, and then I contacted Robert Cohen.
And did you interview him as well?
Yes.
And after you interviewed him, what did you do next?
After I interviewed Mr. Cohen, I believe I interviewed Mr. Rick Snee.
And between the interviews of those people, did you have an opportunity to go through the documents that were handed over to you?
Yes.
And the interviews that you conducted with those people, did it match the information that you saw in those documents?
Yes, it did.
After you talked to Mr. Snee, what did you do next?
Mr. Snee advised me that he received.
Objection, hearsay.
It's okay. Who did you interview after Mr. Snee?
Kyra DeBruin.
And through your investigation, did you continue to gather information on how the photos were leaked?
Yes.
Was that the purpose in interviewing these people, to determine the source?
Yes.
And once you saw the messages from Mr. Fortson, did you attempt to interview him?
Yes, I did.
Did you attempt to interview him about the things in that document?
Yes.
And did he give you any information?
No.
Did you attempt to subpoena his Facebook records to get a certified copy of those documents?
We did.
And when you examined his Facebook page, were those messages in there?
I did not examine his Facebook messages, but Detective Rector did.
Okay.
He would be better.
And okay. After you attempted to interview Fortson, who did you interview next?
I attempted to contact Mr. Westerman after I interviewed Mr. Fortson.
And so the information that you got from the investigation at this point, where did it tell you the leak was coming from?
Mr. Westerman.
Did you know who Mr. Westerman was?
Not at the time, no.
Okay. Did you investigate to find out who he was?
Yes. I found out that he was.
Excuse me, preliminary question, please.
Yes.
When you say found out, did somebody tell you stuff, Kay?
I did some investigation on my own.
I'm sorry.
I did some of the investigation on my own.
Yeah, but what did you investigate? I mean, did you read documents or talk to people?
Yes.
Okay. I'd object as derivative of hearsay, denial of the right to confrontation.
Any response?
Judge, I don't think it's hearsay for him to tell the court how he found out who Mr. Westerman was. I just don't think that hearsay applies, Judge.
So it's course of investigation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Then overruled.
I'm sorry, what was the...
Overruled.
No, I got that, but what did the court say right before that?
He said it's during the course of the investigation, how he got to where he got.
Okay. Well, there's no course of investigation exception to the hearsay rule. There hasn't been for about 15, 20 years.
I've overruled the objection, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And through this process, did you tell me about your attempts that you made to talk to Mr. Fortson directly?
I attempted to call one of the phone numbers I had for him. I had two, and the first one said, "This is Robert Fortson. Please leave a message." I left him a message identifying myself as with the state police and that I needed to talk to him about some information that came up in an investigation. And then, I had another number, I didn't know at the time, but it was actually to his father, Bob Fortson, and I spoke with Mr. Bob Fortson and he said that he worked at the Air Force Base and that he's probably up there and that he would call him and let him know to get in contact with me.
And so on or about October 10th did you go to the Air Force Base and attempt to talk to Mr. Fortson?
Yes, I did.
And did you gather any information from him?
Very little.
Did you ever attempt to get a hold of Mitch Westerman?
Yes, I did.
And does Mitch Westerman, through your investigation, did you find out if Mitch Westerman had a connection to the defense, Mr. Rozzi or Mr. Baldwin?
I did.
Tell me about that connection.
He used to work for Mr. Baldwin I'm not sure what he was employed as, but he used to work for Mr. Baldwin.
Do you know if he was still employed by Mr. Baldwin?
I do not believe he was, no.
And that takes us to October 12th of 2023. What did you find out on October 12th of 2023?
I received a phone call from a sergeant with the Fishers PD that Mr. Fortson had committed suicide.
And were you able to gather any other information about the facts surrounding his suicide?
Fishers PD said that it was obvious suicide and that during a conversation with his wife, he was upset and, because of the photos that he leaked and that he wished he would have just been honest.
Did you conduct any other investigation into his suicide?
No.
Once your investigation was complete, were you able to determine the chain of how the photos were leaked?
Yes.
Can you tell me that?
Objection. Preliminary question. Was this based on stuff people told you?
No, I don't believe so.
Was it based on documents that you read?
Yes, more than likely.
So basically, you're gonna express your conclusions based on information?
Yes.
Provided by other people?
Correct.
Objection. Denial of right of confrontation, hearsay.
Again, Judge, this is through the course of an investigation. I'm trying to elicit from him a summary of what conclusions he found from his investigation into the leaked photos. Judge.
Overruled.
And so, Mr. Holeman, can you tell me, from your investigation, what were you able to determine how the photos were leaked?
I was able to determine that Mitch Westerman, who used to work for Mr. Baldwin, was also in the Air Force with Robert Fortson prior. He wasn't at the time, but he was friends with Robert Fortson through the Air Force. And it appeared to me, through my investigation, that he was sending information that he was getting directly from Mr. Baldwin to Mr. Fortson, and Mr. Fortson was putting that information out to other people.
What platforms was Mr. Fortson using to disseminate that information?
He was using Facebook and also Reddit.
And did Mr. Fortson disseminate the crime scene photos that we previously admitted into evidence?
Yes.
And you were able to examine the contents of the conversations between Mr. Fortson and Mr. Snee. Is that correct?
Mr. Snee?
Mr. Cohen, sorry. I'm getting confused.
Mr. Cohen, yes.
And from that conversation, were you able to determine whether this was a one-time leak of photos or an ongoing leak?
Objection, based on hearsay. It's an opinion, not a fact, and he should not be allowed to testify to it.
Sustained on opinion.
Through the investigation into the Richard Allen case, did you interview a professor at Purdue by the name of Professor Turco?
Yes.
And you interviewed him in September of 2023. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Why'd you interview him that time?
During the deposition with Mr. Baldwin, I mentioned that we had received information from a Purdue professor, but I did not know H's name, so I found out who he was and I found out that he had never technically been interviewed, so I went and interviewed him.
And you conducted that interview and then turned it over to be included in discovery for the defense. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that interview was done in September of 2023?
Yes.
And then, from your investigation, were you able to determine if Fortson was talking about that interview?
Yes, I did.
And when was he talking about that interview, if you know?
I know it was right after.
I'm gonna object. Will the court just show a continuing objection to the testimony based on the conversation between two other people?
Yes.
Fortson and Cohen. Thank you.
And so, were you able to determine when Mr. Fortson was talking about that interview between you and Professor Turco?
It was within days. I don't know the exact date, I'd have to look.
And was that information ever released to the public by you?
No.
Was that information, to your knowledge, was that information out to the public?
No.
Were there other instances, during the course of your investigation, were there other instances that you found where Fortson was releasing information that was only privy to the defense?
Yes.
Objection, conclusion. Ask that it be stricken.
Sustained.
'Cause the answer came in so quick. I'm sorry.
Sustained.
Thank you. And stricken?
Sure.
Thank you.
I don't have any other questions, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Hennessy.
Thank you. Let me start where you stopped. So the Professor Turco report, the only time you've seen that is in this private discussion between Mr. Fortson and Mr. Cohen?
The only time I saw what?
The only reference you've testified to about the Professor Turco interview was in the conversation between two people, Fortson and Cohen, correct?
Yes.
So you didn't see it publicly disseminated out on the internet?
No, I did not.
So that was just contained in that conversation?
To my knowledge, yes.
And then, back to Westerman. In your report, you did a report of your investigation?
Yes.
On just these, what we'll call the leak investigation?
I did, yes.
And the original report was 33 pages?
I'll believe you. I don't care now exactly how long my actual report was, because there's other people involved in it. If you...
And then...
say the original was 33 pages,
Then, with the attachments, it turned out to be 272 pages?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in there, you placed Mr. Westerman's affidavit that was filed with the court.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't think you did?
My affidavit?
Westerman's affidavit was filed with this court. Have you ever seen it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you know that he said he took photos of stuff, but didn't take the actual stuff, discovery materials.
That is correct.
And that Mr. Baldwin had no knowledge that he had done it.
Yes.
And that he did so without any authority from either Mr. Baldwin or Mr. Rozzi.
That's what he said, yes.
And there is no evidence that Mr. Baldwin or Mr. Rozzi authorized Mr.
That is correct.
And then, were you involved in seeking the prosecution of Mr. Westerman?
Yes.
And then, so you had conversations with Mr. Hamner, the elected prosecutor of Johnson County?
I did.
And that's where Mr. Baldwin's office was?
Yes.
And that's where Mr. Westerman purloined the...
Yes.
By photographs, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then, he passed it on to a special prosecutor?
He did.
And then, you also discussed seeking charges against Mr. Baldwin?
I did.
And none were ever filed?
No, none were ever filed.
And then, I wish I'd stop saying, and then. So there's 5 photos that you received from the murder sheet people?
There were more than that.
Oh, okay, but 5 in evidence?
5 that I believed were from the crime scene, yes.
Yeah. Now, you said you recognized some of them for having viewed them at depositions by Mr. Baldwin and Rozzi?
Yes, sir.
When you saw the one that has the blackout, the circle and, did that have blackouts at the deposition?
Yes, I believe so.
I'm sorry, and then you said something about a side-by-side.
I did.
Side-by-side of what, if you can say without revealing too much, 'cause it's under seal?
Sure. There was a side-by-side, half the paper was a picture of Abigail and on the other half was a picture of an asterisk.
Of a who?
Like an asterisk, like a star.
Now, you talked about your attempt to get a statement from Mr. Forston.
Yes, I did.
And did you threaten him with jail?
No.
Do you remember giving a deposition on March 1st?
I do.
And have you reviewed it?
I did.
You had one.
I didn't sign it, because there was.
What did you say?
I did not sign it because there was missing information and false statements in there.
What did you say?
I did not sign it because there was missing information and had false statements, incorrect.
Well, yeah, I'll give you it was incorrect, but I don't know, false is a little strong.
Incorrect.
And it was a transcriber. And so, when you received it, you've had depositions before?
Yeah.
So when you received it, there was an errata sheet.
Affirmative response.
Correct? Did you? And then, so the process is, if you find mistakes, you go to the errata sheet, you correct them, and then you sign your errata sheet.
I filled it out, but I told the prosecutor that there was a lot missing, so I don't know if it was just not transcribed, but I wasn't gonna sign it because the first part of our deposition was missing.
Right.
Yeah.
But the part that was there you could have ascribed to.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Oh. May I have a moment? Sorry. I'll come back to that. Did you tell Mr. Fortson that he could be held in?
Yes.
Did you tell him you could get the judge on the phone immediately?
No.
You didn't say, let me call the judge real quick?
I did say I was gonna call the judge, yes.
And you said, I'm gonna call the judge, let her know, and see if she wants to issue that order of contempt, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then you went out of the room?
I did.
Did you call the judge?
I did not.
Why did you tell Mr. Fortson you could call the judge?
So I'm in the military, so I have a chain of command, I was brought up that way. I called the prosecutor first. I've never done a contempt, so I thought I was gonna have to give the information directly to the judge, 'cause she ordered it. I talked to the prosecutor and he said that he would forward that information.
Why did you give Mr. Fortson the impression that you had the ability, the judge's phone number and could call her immediately?
I don't believe I did.
Well, when you said, let me call the judge real quick, what impression do you think a person would have?
I said I was gonna go call the judge, yes.
Yeah. So what do you think a person's impression of that would be?
Objection. Judge. Calls for speculation.
This guy has the ability to call the judge, right?
Sustained.
Did you tell him it would ruin things for Mr. Allen?
What's that?
Did you tell him it would ruin things for Mr. Allen?
Yes. I said it would ruin things for everybody, yes.
And then you said that it didn't, and I quote, it doesn't bother me any, because it's all bullshit in my opinion?
Yes, sir.
And then you told him that you had gotten information from Mark Robert.
Yes.
Who you later learned was Mark Robert Cohen.
That is correct.
And A.K. Smith.
I believe I said K. Smith or Kyra, which I was confused because both of those names came up, so I wasn't sure if that was the same person or if it was a different person, but later I identified that person to be, actually, before that, but I forgot that that person was Kyra DeBruin.
So you don't believe there's a K. Smith that exists?
If there is, there probably is, but I do not know her. I've never spoken with her.
Okay. I want to go back to my question about did you threaten jail?
Okay.
And on page 14, the question was, didn't you indicate to him that he?
I did.
Okay.
I did indicate it. I said there's a possibility that the judge could order a contempt is what I said in my interview.
So yeah, you told him, you can go to jail over this.
I did not threaten him. I told him there was a possibility that he could.
Well.
I was just being upfront.
Your opinion, it's not a threat. Would you admit that some people might take that as a threat?
Objection, Judge. Again, this calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Do you recall Mr. Fortson telling you that he wanted to have consultation before he talked to you?
He did.
And at first, he just simply said consultation?
No, he said that he thought he needed to talk to somebody.
Right. And then later, he specified attorney?
Yes.
And you kept talking to him?
I did not ask him questions, but I was explaining to him what I was there for, and yes, but I didn't ask questions until after I talked to the prosecutor.
And then you asked questions?
I asked him I think one question, and that was, is he not willing to, maybe a few, I don't know, I'd have to look.
Yeah.
But I asked him if he was not willing to give up the information that I knew he had, and he said, not without a lawyer. I said, that's fine.
But he had invoked counsel before then?
Absolutely.
And you took a recorded statement from a Ms. Ellenfelt, phonetic?
I did.
And she had some pictures?
She had pictures on her phone, yes.
Did you see them?
I did.
And did you connect them to any of the other pictures?
Yes.
Which ones?
I don't recall exactly which ones, but it should be in my report that they were ones that were released by Mr. Fortson to Mr. Cohen, and I had her delete them.
But she told you she got them from a Tyler Carpenter?
Yes.
And who is he?
I don't know.
You could never find him?
Nope.
What effort did you make?
What's that?
What effort did you make to find the source of the photos, Tyler Carpenter?
At that time, I talked to the prosecutor, and that time we weren't interested in all the people that had him, because we'd already located the source and where they came from.
If there was only one source, correct?
To my knowledge, yes, there was only one source.
But that's your belief?
Through my investigation, I've only located one source.
Right.
Yeah.
But so what you had at that point was your belief that Westerman obtained these pictures without permission, correct?
Yes.
That he gave them to one person only, Mr. Forston?
Yes.
That Mr. Forston gave them to Mr. Cohen?
And Mrs. DeBruin.
Kyra told you.
Kyra.
Oh, yeah, I'll get there. So you had no interest in knowing who else had them?
We had a lot of people that had them, and, at that point, nobody was releasing them, so we got word out that there could be potential.
Well, in all of your interviews, you told them that the judge was adamant that you find the photos and get them or delete them.
Have them deleted, yes.
And every person that you did talk to that you identified in the chain, you talked to them about contempt?
I talked to them about what?
Contempt.
Yes.
Possibility. So from that, you learned that a Tyler Carpenter allegedly had them?
No, Kyra DeBruin.
No.
Who?
Tyler Carpenter.
Kyla?
Tyler Carpenter.
I don't know.
You just admitted that Mrs. Ellenfeld told you she got them from a Tyler Carpenter.
Are you saying Tyler?
T-Will-R.
Yes.
Carpenter.
Yes.
So what was the confusion?
I thought you said Kyra Carpenter.
Oh.
It was Kyra DeBruin.
And you were charged with getting these photos, but you didn't locate or attempt to locate Tyler, who allegedly had them, because, well, you'd already found out who you believed the source was, correct?
Yes.
And you made that decision in conjunction with Mr. McClelland?
What's that again?
You made that decision in conjunction with Mr. McClelland?
Yes, I did have a discussion with the prosecutor.
And then, Ms. Ellenfeld told you about a screenshot somehow connected to a George Rye, phonetic, who was former law enforcement. Do you recall that?
It was a separate investigation, but yes.
And what was that investigation? Why is that investigation not related to leaks?
Correct. That investigation, the information she was giving me, was not related to the leaks.
What investigation was it related to?
Harassment.
Harassment?
Harassment.
And then, she told you she had sent them to Christina Mack?
She sent the photos to her or?
Yeah, the photos.
Yes.
And so did you go talk to Christina Mack?
No.
So she might still have these photos?
She hasn't released them, so she has not released them, if as he does. I think most people.
Well, you haven't seen that she's released them.
Correct.
You don't know how many people she maybe sent them to.
That is correct.
And the same with Tyler Carpenter, he might still have them?
Yes, sir.
And then, how many total photos do you believe Westerman took?
I don't recall exactly that he took. There were some that looked like they were downloaded from another Facebook page. I think he probably took.
I'm sorry.
Without, I'd have to look at the photos to give a number.
What did you say about downloaded from a Facebook page?
There were some downloaded from somebody's Facebook page.
By Westerman?
I don't know. They were just sent to Mr. Fortson.
I'm sorry.
They were sent from Mr. Fortson to Mr. Cohen. I don't know who.
Oh. So Mr. Fortson maybe downloaded other pictures from Facebook?
Could have, yes.
And did Mr. Fortson, to your knowledge, have other sources for photographs and information on the investigation?
To my knowledge, no.
So in his conversation with Mr. Cohen, he doesn't talk about other people?
Can you repeat that? Who doesn't talk to other people?
I'm sorry.
Can you repeat the question?
You said you reviewed conversation between Fortson and Cohen, and so my question was, did Fortson talk about other people?
Yes.
Okay. Did he ever mention Mr. Westerman?
Just Mr. Baldwin, he mentioned Mr. Baldwin.
Fortson?
Yes.
Mentioned Mr. Baldwin?
Yes, sir.
In what respect?
In the screenshots of the text messages between them two, he said, Mr. Baldwin told me I was going up to Allen County, Mr. Baldwin told me this, Mr. Baldwin told me that the crime scene was gonna be.
You're saying that Fortson claimed that Mr. Baldwin had direct conversations with him?
That's what it was alluding to, yes.
You ever corroborate that?
I tried to.
With what? Phone records?
No. I tried to interview Mr. Fortson and Mr. Westerman.
Right. And you didn't. You had Detective Rector interview Mr. Baldwin.
What?
What?
Could you repeat the question?
Yes. You had Detective Rector interview Mr. Baldwin?
Yes, I did.
For 2 hours?
I don't know, I wasn't there.
You mean you haven't looked at it?
No.
And did you say, hey, ask him about contact with Mr. Forston?
I don't believe I told Mr. or Detective Rector how to conduct his interview, no.
Did you get a download or a forensic examination of Mr. Forston's cell phones and electronic devices?
Detective Rector did, yes.
And so have you reviewed the phone records?
Just in discussion with Detective Rector.
What did you say?
Just in discussion with Detective Rector.
Oh. Any corroboration that Mr. Baldwin ever spoke to Mr. Forston in the phone records?
I don't recall, but that'd be a great question for Detective Rector.
Don't go anywhere. Now, early on, the discovery of the victims, there was a leak from a search party member, correct?
Yes.
Objection, Judge.
And that.
Again, I'm not sure where you're going with this line of questioning. Mr. Holeman answered before I could object, but I don't know that this is relevant to what we're here to discuss today, Judge. I don't think it's relevant to these proceedings.
I'll tie it up.
And if you don't?
I'll argue why it's relevant.
I'll give you a little leeway, but it needs to be tied up.
That leak was crime scene photos?
Yes. Well, no, it wasn't a crime scene yet, because the search party had found them, so we didn't get to them yet, so it couldn't have been a crime.
Right.
It couldn't have been a crime scene yet, it wasn't a crime scene yet, because the search party located them. It wasn't a crime scene until we got there and secured the scene, but it was photos of articles that eventually were in the crime scene. Does that make sense to you, sir?
Not really.
Okay.
'Cause there was photos of the girls.
No.
And the sticks.
I never saw those.
You don't believe? May I have a moment, Judge?
You may.
What?
I said you may.
Okay. In your deposition, at page 8, under oath on March 1st of 2024, you indicated that the leak from the search party member had some text messages and some photos of clothing.
Yes.
And you're not calling them crime scene photos, why?
'Cause it was before the police was notified. It wasn't a crime scene until we got there.
So you're saying civilians found the girls first?
Yes.
So then, he took pictures before law enforcement got there?
That is what I believe, yes.
And then he publicized them?
Judge, I'm going to object at this point. I'm failing to see how he's tying this up and how it's relevant to the contemptuous information that the state has filed and the point of this hearing, Judge.
There were other crime scene photos out there.
These weren't crime scene photos taken by the police? Mr. Hennessy, correct. Okay. Then, it's not a crime scene.
What did you say?
Then, it is not a crime scene, not crime scene photos. These may be photos taken by civilians, but he's testifying that they were not there yet.
Correct, but it's
So they can't be
pictures.
crime scene photos taken by police.
But it's pictures of the scene of the crime, and if you put them out in the public, you're not going to be able to discern when the police showed up, whether these are police photos or other photos, but they will clearly be, to the public, pictures of the scene of the crime.
Judge, we're here to discuss the photos that were leaked from the defense. I don't think there's a debate about that. And I've got some additional documents to file that I would ask the court to take judicial notice of. I don't think there's any debate that the crime scene photos that were leaked in this situation came from the defense. Teehee defense has admitted that.
Well.
But I'm not sure, but I don't know how that's relevant to the crime scene photos that were leaked in this instance.
How are these relevant?
Because they need to establish that Mr. Baldwin and or Mr. Rozzi publicly disseminated what they've alleged, and it goes to the weight of their evidence that, In fact, there were other sources of photos of the scene of the crime.
And I will give it the weight that it deserves, sir. Please proceed.
Thank you. And that was investigated by other people?
Yes.
And the fellow that had the pictures, law enforcement just told him not to do that again?
Correct.
Nobody reported it to the prosecutor, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, no, but more than likely, they probably discussed it.
I'm sorry.
That would have been the former prosecutor.
Oh.
You'd have to ask him.
Judge, that's all I have for Sergeant Holeman at this time.
Mr. McClelland.
Thank you, Judge. Lieutenant Holeman, Mr. Hennessy asked you if there was any evidence authorizing, or any evidence showing that Baldwin or Rozzi authorized to share anything to anybody. You recall that question?
I do.
And from looking at the documents of the conversation between Fortson and Cohen, were you able to find evidence the leak was ongoing?
Yes.
Objection, hearsay. It's an opinion, it's a conclusion, it's for the court, not the SURG, not the police. If they want to go pull out evidence, conversations, even though it would be objectionable for hearsay, that would be overruled. If they want to point to specific facts, then it allows them to argue to the court the conclusion that it was ongoing, that would be proper. But to simply ask this detective, did you find, what evidence? Did you just find evidence that the leak was ongoing? Leak from who? To whom? So I object. Relevancy, a conclusion of law actually, and an opinion not supported by facts that are currently in evidence or identified to the defense.
Judge, the state believes Mr. Hennessy's opened the door at this point for us to be able to talk about the contents of the messages.
I would agree. If they want to go point to something or a number of things within the conversations that allows the court to conclude the leak was ongoing, where they identify sources in the document, it's in there. But they can't just simply say, hey, you've read this whole thing and you found out the leak was ongoing. That's just not a proper question.
Overruled.
Judge, I guess I'll withdraw the question and we'll just point to specific facts or specific conversations within the exhibit that's been admitted. So, Mr. Holeman, I'm going to show you what's been admitted as State's Exhibit 6. Now, you've testified earlier this is a conversation between Mr. Fortson and Mr. Cohen, and so I'd like you to read on page 1 here, this first message I'm directing you to. Can you read that? Read it to yourself. Are you familiar with that message?
Yes.
Can you read to the court what it says?
It says, W hat up? Same rules? Let's get permission to share anything outside of our convo and respect any numbers.
And that message is from who? Who's sending it?
Robert Fortson.
I want to draw your attention to the next page and this conversation here. Can you read that to the court?
I'm sorry, what page?
Well, they're not marked. Here, I'll show you.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
And can you read that message to the best of your ability to the court?
It should be next weekend. I'm sitting in Franklin with it all. They want me to.
And?
They want me to punch holes in all their stuff and look at it.
And that message is from who?
Robert Fortson.
Where is Mr. Baldwin's office located?
Franklin.
Lieutenant Holeman, I ask you to take a look at that message. Can you read that message to the court?
Not, Judge, I'm going to object because this particular message is no connection to, I can't find it, 'cause they didn't number these things.
The exhibit is in.
What did you say?
The exhibit has been admitted. They are allowed to discuss the exhibit that is properly before the court, sir.
Well.
You may continue.
Thank you. Can you read that, Mr. Holeman?
Yes, sir. Defense just got the girls' phone records. No details yet, but they're saying that there is good stuff in there, or the stuff good on there.
We'll go to the next page. Can you read that message?
This one? That's the same one.
Okay, so same message there recorded. Who is that message from?
Rob Fortson.
And so Fortson's saying that the defense just got the phone records of the girls?
Yes.
Okay. I draw your attention to this message. Can you please read it into the record?
Purdue professor said the exact opposite of what Holeman said. Andy has the audio from it.
I'm sorry,
The Purdue professor, who was still there, mind you, consulted with a Harvard professor and said, yes, those are runes, yes, it is cult-related stuff, so digest that for a second in the grand scheme of the police work.
And who is that message from?
There's more. You want me to?
Go ahead and sorry.
Sorry, I'm a slow reader.
That's okay.
Judge has said she is going to set a suppression hearing, but Andy is looking for clarity on it. That means Frank's hearing or what she is meaning for sure. We shall see. I'll watch that now. That's from Robert Fortson.
And what is the date of that message?
October 2nd.
May I see that page?
Sure.
Thank you.
Again, Lieutenant Holeman, when was the date of that message?
October 2nd.
And when did you conduct the interview of Professor Turco?
In September, I don't remember the exact, but then I turned it over a couple days before this to you.
Did you ever release that interview to the public?
No.
Did you release it to anybody but my office?
No.
And are you familiar with somebody involved in this case that goes by Andy?
Yes.
Who?
Mr. Baldwin.
What's Mr. Baldwin's first name?
Andy.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I go over there, so I can read those, what they're gonna show him, so Mr. McClellan doesn't have to come back and forth?
Certainly.
What did you say?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Lieutenant Holeman, I'll direct your attention to this. Can you read this message?
I thought about a way I could show you the crime scene without sending the pics, maybe photograph something with the pics on my phone in the photo.
And who's that message from?
Robert Fortson.
Who it's directed to?
Mr. Cohen.
Judge, I couldn't hear who he said it was directed to. Could you, please, have him repeat that? It is a little tough to hear back here.
Sure, but I'll ask the question again. Who was that message from?
Robert Fortson.
And who was it directed to?
Robert, or Mark Cohen.
Thank you.
Will you read this message, please?
Facebook? You have no worries about it. It's technically crime scene and...
Who is that message from?
Robert Fortson.
And then, could you read this series of messages, please?
Go side by side with the Barbara one, make it a poll, ask F, rune, spatter, other? 4 options there. Tell them to list T their other in the comments. I'd also let them argue over it, if it's the actual F. That's from Mr. Fortson to Mr. Cohen.
So throughout your history as a law enforcement officer, you've had an opportunity to investigate several crimes. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you had an opportunity to read those messages and go over the entirety of State's Exhibit 6. Is that correct?
Yes.
From your investigation, what conclusion did you draw from that information?
Objection, improper question. It's not for the witness to conclude and it's summing up.
Overruled.
I'll rephrase the question, Judge, that's fine.
Overruled.
Lieutenant Holeman, were you able to conclude from those messages that the leak was ongoing?
Yes.
That's no different than the very first time he tried.
Sustained.
I'm sorry.
Sustained.
Stricken.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Lieutenant Holeman, the messages you're do they correspond with events that were happening during the course of your investigation?
Yes.
Meaning information was being leaked?
Yes.
To your knowledge that you know of, did anybody else besides defense have that information?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Specifically the Professor Turco interview that you had done days before it was leaked by Fortson?
Yes.
And Fortson is directing Cohen to push this stuff out to the public. Is that correct?
Yes, he is.
And from the text messages, why is he? What is the purpose of pushing it out to the public?
To get their opinion.
To do what?
To get the public's opinion.
I don't have any other questions, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Hennessy.
Mr. McClellan started to say, and he said, we're going to go through these individual pages to establish a connection between Mr. Baldwin and Mr. Fortson. You remember that?
Yes.
And so Mr. Fortson, first off, do you know anything about Mr. Fortson's credibility?
No.
Did you know that he pretended to be a lawyer?
I have no proof of that, no.
Well, Mr. Cohen told you.
He said yeah, Mr. Cohen said he thought he was.
No, he said he represented himself as an attorney.
As an attorney, yeah.
What did you say?
I think you're correct, yes.
Okay. So was he an attorney?
No.
So there's a false statement, correct?
Yes.
At least one false statement from Fortson?
Yes.
And then, he said he's sitting in Franklin, but doesn't say where?
Correct.
And do you know where, if Mr. Westerman had connections to Franklin?
Do I know if Mr. Westerman
has connections to Franklin?
Other than Mr. Baldwin?
Correct.
No.
Do you know if his girlfriend lives in Franklin?
At the time, I did not know that, no.
Do you know if Mr. Fortson would meet Mr. Westerman in Franklin?
No.
And then, you said the defense got the phone records, correct? You read that part?
I read that, yes. I didn't say that.
That had no reference to Mr. Baldwin, did it?
I don't think so, no.
And then, he said, with regard to the Professor Turco, he said, Andy has the audio?
Yes.
How do you know Westerman didn't tell him Andy has the audio?
More than likely, that's what happened, yes.
So that's not necessarily direct contact between Mr. Fortson and Mr. Baldwin?
No.
And then, shows the crime scene, there was no reference to Mr. Baldwin in that one you read, correct?
Correct.
And then the Facebook, no worries, crime scene, big piece of evidence, there was no reference to Mr. Baldwin?
Correct.
And then, so there's only one time Fortson says Andy, and he doesn't attribute it to Mr. Baldwin, it could have been Mr. Westerman?
That we discussed, yes, sir.
That'd be what?
There's actually more references to Andy in there, but we didn't go over them.
But nothing Fortson saying, hey, I'm with Mr. Baldwin?
No.
Nothing saying, hey, I talked to Andy directly?
I'd have to check on that.
Okay. And then, you read one about a Barbara. And you're familiar with Barbara McDonald having leaked Professor Turco's report?
No, I'm not.
Did you not investigate that?
No.
And you said Fortson, I'm sorry, you said it was your opinion or belief that somebody wanted to release this stuff to get the public's opinion, right?
That's what it said, yes.
Who, was that Cohen or Fortson?
It was Fortson.
Okay. So he never said, I want to, you should put this out there to damage the prosecution?
Did I what?
What?
Could you, please, repeat the question?
So he never said, put this out there to damage the prosecution?
Who?
Fortson, the same guy that just wanted to get the public's opinion.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. That's all I have for now.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You may step down.